We put it to the market at a 535 to 575. I'm going to say 75. Yeah, and we're getting people through, but we weren't getting offers, but it was a quiet time coming out of Christmas, so we didn't have the activity that we were that everyone was hoping, and that was across all properties. They just wasn't there. So and then it got a few weeks in, and I said to you, we're just got to be patient. It wasn't too far in. I think it was only because we sold it in about 7 or 8 weeks. So I said to him, look, this is what I want to do. I found some other examples I want to work against that I think I can leverage off against. I want to put the price up, which is kind of weird for you guys.
It was, yeah. We were like, huh?
We hadn't had any
offers now.
No, we hadn't had any solid offers there. We'd had people just bouncing stuff around, but we had pushback from people. Yeah. So I said, okay, let's put it up, and because I wanted to attract the buyer that had more than $600,000 to spend, that was finding something cheap, rather than the buyer that had $550 to spend, that was stretching himself to go the next step. Because there's a gap in between. There's a gap every time there is that $50,000 gap. There's people fit within it and people that are above it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to find the ones that were above it coming backwards, not the ones that were lower going forward. Yeah.
And probably worked the ones that had the bigger budget weren't so worried about the kitchen being outdated because they had the funds to update it.
Yeah, so it's just a different psychology of different person just attracting a different result. So we did that, and within 2 weeks of that, we ended up with multiple people interested, and we ended up with a good solid offer, which we got put away. So that was like 3 weeks down the track. So lifting it to then just under 600,000. So when you look at that, we spent just under 6.8 from memory.
Yeah, I think my memory is about 6.8.
6.8 in total to do all of that work. And mind you did a lot of labour as well with the painting and all the bits and pieces outside and fixing up inside, painting inside as well. So there was lots of things that you tackled, but we ended up with the result which justified spending that money.
Oh, well and truly.
Yeah, so important to do that. But what I want people to understand, the viewers to understand, is that when you engage us to look at your property, I'm not interested in just selling your property as your property is, if there's something that we can do to make it better. Yeah, and I'm not in any rush. Would you say that I'm in any rush to do what we do?
No, it was great because with kids and work commitments for both Susan and I, we were a little bit time poor at times, and you were patient because we had to put it off a couple of times, by a week or 2 weeks, because we just couldn't get everything done.
Yeah, and even throughout the process, would you say the process was stressful or not stressful?
No, we thought it would be, but you just ran with it, and we had all the confidence that let you do what you do, and we'll go to work and do what we do, and it'll all end up good.
And I did say, didn't I, right throughout the whole program, is that I want you to just be patient, because it's a game, yeah, and we actually have a strategy that we play. And we need to make sure that we show confidence and commitment and that energy all the time. We can't talk about it in any other way outside of that, because if you do and people start to get in people's ear and they talk about, it's not worth that, it's not worth that, it can change the way that people project. And because of social media now, that's pretty easy for that to get spread. Yeah. So that's why it's, from my point of view, we maintain the same process all the way through. And it's calm, we know what we know. We know what we've got. We know that that's what it deserves, and we find the person that's going to pay.
Yep.
Yeah, and we don't listen to anyone outside of that. So if they come through and they want to talk it down, unfortunately they can't afford it. They need to go to another suburb. And I told people that. I had people that came through early on and they were talking, no, I think it's only worth this. Why is it worth that? I had a neighbour up around the corner, literally right around the bend. Yeah, he came out. He'd been there only a couple of years, and he said to me, that's a lot for that. And I've gone, that's what I sell it for. And I sold it for more. We lifted the price after that. Sold it for more.
A lot more than that.
Yeah. So people even that live in the area don't know. So this is my point. So the people that live in the area don't know. Most of the agents don't know, and they don't use the correct analysis to really determine what it is, and then they won't reinvestigate the analysis to increase the price. How often have you heard? I think you even spoke to some friends that couldn't believe that the price was being lifted.
Mm.
And because it just doesn't happen. They don't. Agents don't lift prices because it makes it harder for them to sell.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that as a problem. Yeah, because I know that once I know that it's worth that, it's just as easy to sell at that point as it is at another point. So, it was always going to happen. We're always going to achieve a great result. Great. We didn't spend a lot of money. what we spent, we well and truly received a fantastic return on for you guys.
Absolutely.
And as I say, it was enjoyable throughout the process, apart from obviously throwing around 350 square metres of grass on a day. It was a big day.
It was huge. Blisters, aches, pains.
I reckon.
And then Susan and I were out finishing off at like 6 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because you had to cut bits in. Yeah, tucking some of the stuff down as well. Getting the hose onto it to make sure that you get a good soak. But it did lift it. It within a week, it looks like it always been there. Yeah, and
it was amazing how quick it took off. And
it was cheap when you look at that. So to spend 6-8 instead of 35-ish to do the same, not the same because we weren't doing the deck. But when you look at it in terms of the impact of the yard had, and what we did, like a fraction of the price, and a massive result. So
and it was actually nice to hear like all the people coming through the house comment on the grass.
Did they work?
How nice it was.
Yeah, it was just lush. They loved it, and that's it is a cheap fix and it's worth doing rather than leaving things untidy. So I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed the process. Great vendors, easy vendors. So I didn't see stress. I looked for it because I try and eliminate it for you guys. Didn't see stress. But I know that people do get anxious at times.
We got anxious and a little bit stressed because of what was going on across the road. The weather didn't help us out much because all the dust blowing up, so we're just constantly cleaning, and then a couple of big storms just before opens. That was stressful, but the actual selling process, we just walked away from it basically and let you deal with it.
Yeah, and
so
then
as
outside
long as we kept the house clean. The rest was up to you.
Yeah, which you did, and so. But I know that was hard because again of the weather. We just battled a really bad period. Yeah, it was just blowing sideways at times. Like it was hammering, wasn't it? Yeah, and it was dirty, and as you say, it was all coming in up off the subdivision. So had nowhere else to go but hit your place and the houses around it. But now all that's tidied up. It's all ready to build on, and all grassed out. You're not going to have the same problem, but it's turned out well. Turned out really well.
It was a good experience.
Question for you: if you had to rate the experience 1 out of 10, 1 being low, 10 being high, what would you say from start to finish that process would be for you?
Without trying to blow smoke in your pocket or anything, it'd be a 10 plus.
Yeah, no, well, we appreciate that because that's what we said.
Only because your communication throughout it was fantastic. We knew exactly what was happening at any time. You were always available if we had any questions or anything like that. You become an adopted part of the family. Yeah, and it's great friendships, and that's what I love out of it because it doesn't start that way because we didn't know each other before it. No, never met each other before it. When I say met, we'd never sort of known each other. We had only met on a property that I was marketing, and it started from that. So, and it's now at this point, which is fantastic. So new friendships, which is I value just as much because it just means now that I've actually done what I set out to achieve, which is get you an amazing result, above expectations, which is always my goal, and to end up with great friends out of it. So yeah, it's been win-win.
Yeah, it's been a really good, big win-win for everybody. So looking forward to what else we can do in the future for you guys, and hope to do more.
Well, you'll be the one.
All right, mate. Thank you. Thanks so much.
No, thank you.